So what are 5 limiting assumptions that might be holding your school back? The first assumption is that many schools may think that when it comes to developing positive mental health, that all the expertise is outside the school community. Now, whilst there are individuals and organisations which of course can be a resource and a help to schools, our experience is that often schools underestimate the level of resources, of life experience, of intelligence and solutions which already exist within their students and staff. And so the approach of Heads Up is to facilitate that learning, that life experience, to draw out from the people who are already within the school community, to help them notice what they bring into the room in terms of strengths and how they can use that with each other. So it may be that schools need less external expertise than they think. The second assumption when we're thinking about mental health is that we can start thinking in terms of what's wrong with people that needs fixing, as if we're machines. Listen to our language. We talk about needing to switch off, or having a screw loose, or the cogs not turning, or having a breakdown. But we're not machines. Heads Up, we believe there's something fundamentally right with people. And so when we pay more attention to people's natural and learned strengths, that helps people tap into their own talents and the contribution they uniquely bring to the organisation. And that itself helps solve some of the issues around stress and anxiety and low mood. So let's not think about what's wrong with people. Let's ask the question, what's right with people? The third assumption is that building resilience, well, that sounds like hard work. And of course it does take time. But there's no magic wand and there's no shortcuts. However, building resilience sometimes is just about having a conversation with someone independent, outside of the situation, who can help present a different perspective, help somebody tap into their own life experience, and a bit like turning a sail into the wind. That slight change of perspective, a new idea, can release an enormous amount of energy and fresh enthusiasm and motivation, and that has a knock-on effect in terms of engagement and performance. The fourth assumption is that health and education are two entirely different things. But actually, think about how we're put together as people. When somebody is in a relaxed state, a calm state, for example, a student in a classroom, they're more likely to learn quickly and effectively and think creatively. The piece of the brain, the hippocampus, which is in charge of learning and memory, is relaxed and is working in an optimum way. However, when someone is stressed or anxious, the hippocampus it gets restricted. It starts to get a lot tighter, and therefore somebody isn't able to learn as easily or as efficiently. Think about the phrases that we use. Someone's doing my head in, or I can't think straight, and those are very accurate phrases. So, health and learning, health and education are, when it comes to people, are entwined. And the last assumption is perhaps the biggest, which is there's not enough time and money to do this. In our experience is that schools will sometimes be spending a lot of money on the problem, and that's the problem because they're spending money on the problem. Think about the costs of covering staff absence, the loss of Wave 1 teaching time, the amount of time that it takes to resolve conflict and just tangled dynamics between people, teachers and students, for example. All of that is expensive in time, it's expensive in money, just again and again trying to firefight the problem. But by investing in the right areas, by getting the insights into how the school community really ticks and what its resilience and well-being is, by investing in the right areas, some of those problems can go away, some of them can certainly be solved or even dissolved. So the work of Heads Up is about investing in the school community that saves time, saves money, reduces stress and improves outcomes.